common misperception. And quite frankly, it's a knot that's been on every large business, going back to Woolworths, to Sears, to Home Depot, and now it's stuck on us because we're the largest retailer. What we find in the majority of communities across the country is actually the opposite is true. Our stores are a magnet for growth and development. We have 140 million customers every week. I would encourage any of you to drive around a Walmart store and see the small, medium, and large businesses that are coexisting around our stores. Just anecdotally, forget all the studies that are sort of out there, just sort of see what business activities taking place around our stores. I think there are certain businesses that take advantage of that customer traffic and grow and thrive. Are there businesses that go out of business after we open? Absolutely. But in the majority of cases, we find that actually we help sort of lift up communities from a development standpoint. And I think that store on the west side is a great example.
Maybe what's the most difficult part about changing the negative image?
I think probably the most challenging part is because some of those misperceptions are so well entrenched, they're not going to be undone overnight. So I feel like we just have to stay aggressive in sort of telling our own story, take hold of our own reputation, and be out in front of any sort of criticism, because at the end of the day, we're proud of the job we're doing by our customers and by our associates, and we've got good stories to support that.
So I guess in terms of getting Chicago on board, did this take a long time to do? It sounded like it kind of was a battle that you guys fought, and how exactly did you enlist aldermen to embrace your company?
So it was about 6 years in the making, and I think, there wasn't any magic to getting folks to recognize what our brand could deliver. It was just good, honest communication, and the most important part of that communication was listening. So in sitting down with Alderman Beal, for example, or Alderman Brookins, what challenges is your community facing? So on the south side, in a neighborhood like Pullman, where folks had to travel miles outside of their own neighborhood just to have affordable, healthy food, where unemployment was around 30%, where they didn't have a lot of shopping options, Alderman Beal did an excellent job of sort of clearly articulating, here's what my residents need. So you, Walmart, how can you guys help us? How can you be part of the solution here? And so hearing his feedback and being able to educate him about the jobs we could create, the quality of those jobs, and then the full grocery offering that our stores would have, opened his eyes to our stores being part of the solution for his neighborhood.
What are some of the challenges that you're facing now? Like looking forward, I mean, what are you really doing to change some of the big, to change the reputation and stuff?
I think, it's still going to be a lot of work because, again, a lot of those misperceptions are sort of so entrenched. But I think we have a good story to tell. We find that the more people get to know us, the more they like us, and the more they just appreciate the value we can bring to a community. So in this particular economy, it's centering around jobs and access to healthy food. But tomorrow it could be, how can we play a role in boosting nonprofits or helping communities be more sustainable? And I think our brand is positioned to adjust depending on the needs of a community. And at the end of the day, our goal is to help people save money so they can live better. That's what's going to drive all of our efforts. And we'll continue to be the low price leader in every community we serve, but we'll also really stay focused on helping our associates and our customers live better too.
It says that the basic sample follows 306 enterprises, 82 of which went out of business over the study period, and that was administered in the summer of 2006 before the Wal-Mart opened, and then 2007 and 2008.
Yep.
And it says the key finding of the survey is that the probability of going out of business during the study period was significantly higher for establishments close to the Walmart location.
Right.
And then the probability fell off at a rate of 6% per mile in all directions from the Walmart store. So do you have any comment about this? Like, what do you have to say? I know that there's like these corrections or...
Yeah. So you'll notice that the study didn't draw any direct parallels between our store opening and those stores going out of business. So it didn't take into account any other economic factors that may have played a role there. So it just sort of looked at dates and said in 2006, Walmart opened, and then in 2007 and 2008, these stores went out of business. So it didn't sort of dig any deeper into the why question. It sort of just made an assumption that we opened, and that's why those businesses went out of business.
Yeah, but they said that they followed, like, based on proximity, it sounded like the closer that they were to the Walmart, like, more frequently they went out of
But again, if
business,
you,
or?
they didn't actually say because the Walmart opened.
Okay.
So the second thing is they didn't take into account any new businesses that opened in and around our store during that same period of time. They only looked at stores that went out of business. So that's what drove all their conclusions. If they would have looked at stores that opened, they would have saw a net gain in jobs in that community. Despite all that, I think all anyone needs to do, walk that neighborhood pre-2006 in our store opening and today, and you will see a marked positive difference in that community, in that neighborhood. And Alderman Mitz, who lives and breathes that community every day, has been the greatest spokesperson for us because she sees with her own eyes what the store has meant to her residents.